What's up, YouTube? It's the Monarch here, and I'm coming at you with my first ever deck profile. And obviously, it's Monarchs, my favorite deck to play. I mean, I like the whole tribute summon mechanic, and yeah, it's the new format. The Link format really messes with you, but the Monarchs I find are not really affected by it because they do not use the extra deck. So let me just get right into this deck profile really quickly. Alright, and just to let you know, it's a 60 card Monarch deck. I know most people don't play 60 cards, but 60 cards is what I play. So, alright, so first up, let's focus. We got Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. So I run two of him because of his effect in the great. Yeah, everyone knows him, Erebus. I would run three, but the way I play, he's only good at two. So yeah, I mean, it's my boss monster of the deck. Next, I run one Ether, or whatever her name is. She's a good effect. She's also the other boss monster of this deck. Also, I mean, she's pretty easy to get out. You know, one tribute summon monster. Same with Erebus. You know, basically like brother and sister. I mean, you get the point. Next, I run two green Kappas. I run him because of his flip effect. When you flip him, you target two set spell trap cards on the field and destroy them. This is really good for like the Solomon Strikes, the Solomon cards, mostly traps, spells that will destroy mind monsters and whatnot. You know, I found this really interesting to play because most of the time he really helps me out. Next, I run two Rainbow Karibos, because you never know when your opponent's going to summon a wicked monster and then attack you. I mean, Karibo, you know, you just go, you equip it to the other person's monster, they can't attack while it's face up on the field, whatnot. So, I mean, he is pretty good effect, so basically this is the reason why I run it. I run one Clear Karibo because of his draw effect. I mean, when an opponent declares a direct attack, I mean, you just banish this card from your graveyard and draw a card. And, I mean, when your opponent activates a monster effect, basically, it would inflict damage, like a lot of people do, just send it to the graveyard and just, you know, discard the card and then negate the effect. So, basically, like, he's not really for play, he's for, like, hand. Basically, my hand trap, basically. I'm also running one Battle Fader because I don't really use two. He hasn't really shown up that much. I mean, it is a 60 card deck, but the way Monarchs are, they go pretty fast. The deck goes down really fast. So, well, the way I play, it goes down pretty fast. So one Battle Fader is good enough for me. I play one Mathematician for my draw engine. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, when he's sent to the graveyard, you know, yeah. And when he's normal summoned, you can also send one level 4 lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. So basically, like, you pop this, and then you send like an Ada or an Ado or whatever his name is to the graveyard, and then activate their effects and whatnot. Pretty good. I only run one of him. He only needs to be one. Then I run two Ada. Because of her normal summon effect, when she's summoned, you can summon a monster with her attack and defense. And basically, if you summon a specific monster, Ado, you get to summon a Monarch on the turn that you summon her, if you have it in your hand, whatnot. And when she's sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Monarch spell or trap cards, and then add it back to your hand. So that's why I run two of her. I was gonna run three, but two is good enough. I also run two Ado, You know, his normal summon effect, special summon effect, and his graveyard effect. You banish him, special summon a creature with 800 and 1000, and then you go from there. Basically, that's him. I run one of each vassal, so I run one Berlith, one Garum, one Mirthra, one Landrobe, one Esther, one Lucius. So I run one of each because this is my version of a Monarch deck. So I only get one of each ruler. So you got the fire, the wind, the lightning, you got the earth, the water, and then you got the darkness. So I mean, I use almost all these cards. You know, Esther, special summon, pretty easy. Landrobe, you know, most of them are just a special summon from your hand by doing certain things like banishing Monarch, 2 spell trap cards, and this one, you know, let me just focus in here. Focus in a lot more. Yeah, you target one face-up monster your opponent controls, you know, easy special summon. Same with her, you just special summon a token to your opponent's side of the field. You know, they also have the tribute summon effects. Tribute them, and then you can add creatures or destroy stuff. It's pretty easy, pretty simple to use. Return one tribute summon monster, and you discard one random card and special summon him from your hand. You know, it's easy for the tribute summons that you can perform in this deck. So yeah, that's why I run one of each one. Next, I'm running one of each Monarch, so Thestalos, Ryza, Zaborg, Grandmarg, Mobius, and Caius, or whatever his name is. So, I run one of each because if I run more than one of each, the deck won't work the way I want it to work. So, let me just get this focus in here. Okay, so I run Thestalos to destroy my opponent's cards in their hand, Ryza so that I can target cards on the field and then basically screw my opponent over. And then Zaborg is a pretty interesting card to use. You know, target one monster on the field, target your opponent's boss monster and stuff. Caius banishes cards. Mobius destroys spell and trap cards. It helps you with those Solomon strikes and whatnot. And Grandmarg targets one set card on the field and destroys it. Face down monster, face down spell or trap card, no matter what, it's destroyed. So that's why I run one of each. I run one of each because I find it interesting to run one of each because I like it. I like the way the ruler system is with Monarchs. Next, I'm running one Thestalos, one Ryza, one Zaborg, one Grandmarg, and one Mobius, Mega Monarch. At the moment, I don't have Caius because he's pretty expensive at the moment. But for now, I run one of each of the Mega Monarchs. So basically, it's their enhanced effects, and also an extra effect that they're tribute summoned with the element they need to be tribute summoned with. I mean, it really helps out. I find that Monarchs are good for anything because they can destroy cards, negate card effects, lower your opponent's extra deck, and destroy cards in their hands. Basically, you're just destroying everything and getting your boss monsters out faster. So that's why I run one of each. Next, I run one Vanity's Fiend, one Majesty's Fiend, one Illusionary Snatcher. So, Vanity's Fiend, you know, players can not special summon monsters. And also, Majesty's Fiend, monster effects cannot be negated, cannot be activated. So I run these just in case, because you never know when you'll need this one or this one, because most players play with special summons, most players play with card effects, and yeah, so these cards come in handy in a Monarch deck because they're also 6-star, just like Monarchs, and they also have the Monarch attack and defense. So it's easy to get them out with Monarch spell and trap cards. So I run each one, and one Illusionary Snatcher, because when you tribute summon, you can special summon him to your side of the field, and he becomes the type type, attribute, and level as this monster that you tribute summoned. And he's pretty good for tribute. He's pretty good for another tribute summon. It's a special summon, so can't go wrong. And that's it for my monster lineup. Next, I'm going to go on to my spells. So I'm running 1 Mausoleum of the Emperor. I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, monarchs require either 1 or 2 tributes, and you pay life points instead of monsters to summon, just in case, you know, you just want to, you have this card in your hand, you have no creatures or anything, you have 1 monarch in your hand, you just pay 1,000 life points or 2,000 life points, and then tribute summon it, and then activate their effects and whatnot, and, you know, you can't go wrong with Mausoleum. I run 1 Swords of Revealing Light because, you know, pretty simple, stop my opponent from attacking me. Now, this is my own opinion, but I run 2 Stray Lambs, because I run Stray Lambs because it gives me an opportunity to have monsters I can tribute for tribute summon. Because if I was to use Scapegoat, I would not allow to tribute those scapegoats. And this one, it says nothing. It says you can activate this card. When you activate this card, you cannot normal summon, flip summon, or special summon during the turn. You special summon 2 lamb tokens. So during this turn, so special summon 2 lamb tokens, beast type, you know, nothing really specific, doesn't say you can't tribute. So that's why I run these guys, because, you know, it gives me 4 extra monsters I can use in the deck for a price of 2. So, you know, you can't go wrong with Stray Lambs. I mean, it's not that bad. You guys should really try using this in your monarch decks. I run, obviously, 1 Monster Reborn, because, you know, psych my opponent out. Soul Charge, pretty simple. You already, you know the explanation. You know, Soul Exchange, you already know the explanation. You know, tribute your opponent's monsters. Get your other cards out. You know, it's easy when you don't have creatures in your hand. 1 Monarch Stormforth, pretty simple. Same thing with the Soul Exchange. I'm running 2 Domain. This is not a Domain deck profile. It's just a pure Monarch deck profile. Well, basically, I run these because giving my monsters extra attack boost, and also my opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. So it really helps me out. That's why I run 2, just in case. I run 2 Tenacity because you know, it's always good to start with a Tenacity. I only run 2 because 3 really clutters my deck, and I only like playing with 2 because sometimes I banish 1 and then unbanish it. You know, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. You know, unbanish your cards. You know, target monarch. You know, add 1 to your hand. Can't add the same card, but you get it. I run 2 Return of the Monarchs. You know, get extra Mega Monarchs to my hand. It's easy. You know, just tribute summon. Pretty simple. Obviously 1 Panthesium because they haven't really put it to 2 or 3 yet, but you understand. I run 1 March because I like the tribute summon. So when tribute summon monster I control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. This is good for like hand traps and all kinds of stuff. Like spells and traps, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah. And can I special summon from the extra deck? Don't have an extra deck, so second effect doesn't affect me. And I run 1 Strike and 1 Frost Blast. Strike for the draw, and also monsters. All the monsters become the target of the tribute target I selected. So if I select water and I have Mobius in my hand, you know, if I tribute the water monster, actually, you banish this card and you declare 1 attribute, and then if you have the target attribute monarch in your hand, you can, you know, all face up monsters become that attribute, summon it, get the double effect. So I mean, 1 is good for me. I was running 2, but I mean, at that time when I was running 2, all my monarchs were already summoned, and yeah, so I only run 1. Frost Blast. So this is good because, you know, target 1 set card on the field, you know, destroy it, then you can banish this card, target and one monarch spell and trap card, and then target one card on set. You know, basically destroying spell and traps that will destroy you instead. So yeah, I run 1. 2 is too much. That's it for the spells. On to the traps. Alright. So I run 1 pinpoint guard because there's not many, well, there is quite a few, but, you know, you don't really need this often, but it does come in handy sometimes, you know, it comes in clutch. 1 statue of Anguish Pattern, because why not have another monster, you know, with 2500 defense. This is pretty good because it's a free monster. If you special summon another, well, if I had another one, its other effect would be you can target one card on the field and destroy it. So it's good to have 2 of these. I was thinking about putting another one in it. You guys let me know what you think if I should add another one in to get its second effect. But yeah, basically just another monster for me. You know, pretty good. 1 escalation because, you know, who doesn't like tribute summoning on your opponent's turn? So I run 2 first of the monarchs because, you know, he counts as 2 tributes for a monster when you've activated his effect. You would special summon him in defense mode, discard a card, declare an attribute, and then you make sure you declare the attribute of the monster you have in your hand, because if you don't, you can really screw this up. But yeah, I have 2 of them just in case. So it really works good with me. Sometimes I only have to use 1, but a lot of the times I have to use both because of my opponents. He would always destroy and whatnot. So yeah, I run 2 in this deck. Now for the last 2, I run the Prime Monarch so that you can get all your other Monarch spell and trap cards back to your hand, even after you've activated them, you know. Target 2 Monarch spell or trap cards from your graveyard, shuffle into your deck, then draw a card. It's a free draw. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. You know, if it's destroyed, if this card's destroyed by card effects, you special summon it as an effect monster. You know, it's pretty good. Yeah. So that's my deck profile. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of my profile. If you think that this 60 card deck would be good to duel against other opponents. But this is my general my choice of cards I play. I like playing 1 of each card, mostly the Monarchs, because I don't like using their effects more than once, except for the Squires. I mean, can't go wrong with their effects, you know. Clear Karibo. It's pretty good. I mean, just let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what kind of other deck profiles you would want me to do, the 60 card deck profiles you want to do. I might be coming out with a 60 card Super Heavy Samurai deck. Not sure yet. I have half a deck created so far. But yeah, you know, you got your tokens just in case, because you got lambs, and yeah. So that was my 60 card Monarch deck profile. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you think that I should change something or anything. And yeah, just this is your boy the Monarch, and I'm out. Peace.